Welcome to Synchronize Swatches, your twice monthly dose of coolness. I'm your host, Chris.
I'm the other guy, Chip Johnson.
Match my energy, damn it.
No!
Every other week.
I refuse to!
Every other week, we watch an episode of the cult classic 1990s sitcom Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and then we record ourselves talking about it.
It's time for Operation Record the Podcast. Are you ready?
Yes. Let's go.
I drug you down to my level.
You killed my
Let's go!
There we go. Fucking let's do it!
God, we're going off the rails with these intros.
That's the way they do it.
Gentlemen, synchronize swatches. Not a problem.
I've never liked you, Lewis.
Not a problem.
Eat now?
Clean out your locker. You're finished.
Everybody went back to school today. Today was the first day back to school for the new year, at least on our side of the water. I think the other side of the water they go back next week, but
Gotcha.
you know, so both my kids are in middle school this year. So.
Damn, dude, that's freaking nuts.
I know, it's crazy.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I keep hearing about all the kids going back. Like even I think Dawn's nephew went back last week or 2 weeks, like 2 weeks ago, like somewhere where it was like, I'm like, we're barely into August and they're going back to school. And, you know, when we came up, well, I don't know what it was like overseas for you, but like, it was always after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Like school, you know, in Hampton where I grew up, like it was always after Labor Day.
Yeah.
So it never even encroached into August, which is great for me because my birthday is August 31st. So like it was bittersweet because I'd always be looking forward to my birthday as a kid, but it also kind of marked the end of summer and like, oh, next week I got to go to fucking school again.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Here's some school supplies. Boo.
Exactly.
That sucks.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Mine falls on Thanksgiving every once in a while because it's November 26th. So periodically it'll be on Thanksgiving, which, you know, isn't really a big deal as an adult, you know? I'm sure when I was a kid and it happened, it was kind of like, this sucks, man. You know, but I don't want pumpkin pie as a birthday cake. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, that's pretty bad, but it's probably not as bad as like the Christmas birthday, right? Which, like one of my cousins, she had a Christmas birthday. I just remember, you know, especially as a kid, you just feel like you're kind of robbed because as a kid, you have two like major events in your life, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's birthday and Christmas. And to have it like bundled into one, you always feel like you got chipped.
Yeah. So, so back to school, you know, it's, nobody likes it, but these days they are bringing, you know, they have school supplies for sale in late June, early July, you know, which is just, that fucking sucks, man. You know, like you get out of school 2 weeks into June, you're finished with school. And 3 weeks later, you go to Target and there's fucking back to school stuff everywhere. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, give the kids a break, you know? Like,
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Kids and the parents, but especially as kids. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess there can be argument made for kids to probably, you know, go to school year round, but it's like, they're kids though, man. They need some fucking time off and like to have a big chunk like a summer vacation. Yeah. You know, I think it keeps them from breaking. More than they already are. Yeah.
It feels like that was, for a while there, that was kind of something that was being kicked around as like, this is coming, you know, year-round school with larger breaks and whatever, and it just, I never hear anything about that anymore, you know?
Yeah, I do remember like people talking about it and pushing for it, but I guess they finally decided that wasn't a great idea.
Yeah, so they're like, let's just get rid of the entire Department of Education. Fuck it.
Yeah, much better idea.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we can segue.
We're going to look back at the 20s and just be like, man, can we just write that decade off?
Yeah. I know, man. It's been a rough decade here.
Yeah. We're only halfway through.
You guys were dangerous dudes, huh?
All right, let's jump into this episode. Synchronize Swatches. This is Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Season 1, Episode 24, Teens from a Mall. This was before Mallrats, though, right? Because Mallrats was a couple years later, right?
Yeah, I think that was like in the mid-90s, yeah.
Yeah, like 94, 95. So this was 91, I guess. But this is definitely the Mallrat show of Parker Lewis.
For sure.
But yeah, Teens from a Mall, I guess, is a reference to Scenes from a Mall, which was a Woody Allen, Bette Midler vehicle from 1991, like earlier in this year, I guess, and they just snagged the title. Yeah, but of course, that's a play off of Scenes from a Marriage, which is a Bergman film from way back when. But and then I did not boot up.
God damn it, we don't have our German.
I didn't boot up Robot Paul. Stand by,
Better call
people.
him. Better call him in real time.
All right, Robot Paul is booted up. So, Paul, if you would, give us the German title for this episode.
Im Kaufhauszentrum.
Man, I'm glad we got him to do that one. That's one huge compound word right there.
Even hearing him say it, I don't think I could say it right after.
Im Kaufhauszentrum.
That's a tough one.
I remember that being a thing when I was taking German. That was like one of the things about German is they will take words and jam them together, instead of creating a new shorter word, like what we might, shrink it down. They just take all the words and slam them into
all
one
together.
big ass word.
Yeah, that's a huge word. I'm looking at it right now in our little recap script. It's huge.
Yeah.
But in your translation here is in the shopping spree center.
Yeah.
Which again, I think, like you say, maybe we should have had Paul do a translation because maybe there's some colloquialism that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
Or some slang
it might even
that we're
just
not
be
aware
in
of.
the mall, It might just be in the mall.
Yeah. So in the shopping spree center is the literal translation. I don't know if that's actually what they were meaning. But this episode written by Clyde Phillips and Lon Diamond, the showrunners, and directed by Andy Tennant, who this is his 4th episode, so he's kind of becoming a Parker Lewis regular along with Spicer. And here is my episode synopsis. The buds do the Mallrat thing as they chase their respective dreams. Jerry hunts for a job to make him feel like a man. Mikey struggles to cope with the pressures of a new promotion. Kube ogles the latest in state-of-the-art cookware, and Parker is chasing a girl, Natch.
Look at that Gen Z language. That'll bring him in.
Yeah. We got to appeal to younger audiences here.
Yeah. Natch. No cat.
Our opening gag starts in a guidance counselor office. First up is Mikey, who says he knows he's got to get serious about school because he wants to start his own business. He thinks, but he doesn't seem to be too sure, honestly.
No, he's not.
He is not sure about that. Next up is Parker, who says, of course, he wants to go to college, maybe med school or law school, but definitely have a family if he meets the right woman.
Yeah, I noticed. I just thought it was funny. He has these huge aspirations, like, I don't know, law school, med school,
yeah,
and a family,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he can con his way into law school or med school, right?
Sure. Yeah,
it's Parker Lewis after all.
Yeah, he didn't say he was going to work for it.
No, exactly. Third up is Jerry, who lists off a long string of acronyms: SATs, MIT, GREs, LSATs. Then the CIA or the FAA. It's just a bunch of acronyms.
Yeah, he's just saying shit.
Just throwing letters out.
Yeah.
Lastly, we have Kubiak, who says he wants to do station wagon repair or modern dance.
And that makes more sense later in the episode, the modern dance part, I just realized.
Yes. Station, I like how
specific.
Specific, yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. How specific the repair was. Station wagon repair.
Yeah, only station wagons.
Yeah, that's all he'll service. So we cut to Santo Domingo Mall, where in voiceover Parker tells us,
Funny thing about being a teenager, people are always asking you what your future plans are. Though at this age, we rarely have a clue. What we do have a grasp on are our dreams. And for me and the buds, the best place to explore those lofty expressions of hope and eternal wishes is at the mall.
I love this opening shot too, because it's like you just immediately hit with nostalgia for those of us who went to malls. I mean, it's a mall, but it's also a very 1990 mall. Lots of glass, lots of the paint colors and everything. Yeah, I was kind of curious, like where I didn't really look into it. I probably should have, since this is something where we research things occasionally. But I was curious about where they might have shot this. Yeah, what mall they might have shot this in.
Yeah, we totally whiffed on that. We should.
Yeah, we need to have Troy back on here.
I was just about to say
shot.
Exactly. I was like, we need Troy here, like to be able to chime in on it. Oh, we shot this here.
Yeah.
Come back, Troy. We need you.
Yeah.
We cut to a hot dog stand where we see Mikey is working. He serves Parker and Jerry a couple of dogs on a stick. Parker gets the standard mustard and relish one, while Jerry gets a hot fudge and gummy bears one. He explains it's the perfect combination of entree and dessert, all in one. We find out that Mikey got a promotion from counterman to chief counterman, which my note was here was, that's a big step up, Mikey.
Yeah, his badge says top dog.
Yes, that's right. Mikey says because of the promotion, he feels like a man. Parker agrees with this and says if it wasn't for his job at the video store, he would feel like a kid or something. At which point we see Jerry feeling rather inadequate because of his lack of job.
Poor Jerry.
Poor Jerry. He's just a kid. Don't grow up too fast, Jerry.
Yeah.
You're going to regret it once you get into the workforce.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Kubiak walking through the mall. He stumbles across a demo booth for something called the Grodnik Griddle, some kind of cooking apparatus that pretty much does everything, I guess.
Yeah, I actually wrote down everything she said that this griddle makes, and because Kubiak's also asking her things. So
yeah,
this Grodnik Griddle makes omelets, nachos, lamb chops, brownies, French fries, burritos, shrimp, turkey burgers, steamed vegetables, and pizza. It is a miracle griddle.
It does everything, man.
You can make shrimp and pizza and burritos.
I know.
I don't know what the Grodnik is a reference to either.
It's got to be a reference to something, but I did not catch it. I was like, I don't know what that is because again, that's very specific, right? And there's like a pencil drawing or something of whoever the Ron Popeil of this thing is, like
yeah,
and
exactly.
But I don't know who that portrait is of.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up Grodnik while you go on.
All right,
Grodnik.
So Kubiak is of course enthralled because of the vast amount of culinary options this thing provides. We cut back to Mikey at the hot dog stand, where he bemoans the fact that he just got a promotion and a naked pizza has opened up across the food court from them, and they're killing it. They're also stealing a lot of business from the hot dog stand. And yeah, the naked pizza it's just an interesting choice for the pizza joint. Like, because the sign's like a big neon sign, but it's got like, of course, a naked woman holding a pizza or in front of her.
Yeah. Were there any women working at the pizza shop? I couldn't tell.
No, there's like some old middle-aged dude.
Yeah. So people are going over there under the false pretense that they're going to get pizza from naked people.
Yeah, exactly. That's marketing for you.
And they're bailing on the hot dog stand.
I mean, if Mikey really wanted to turn the business around, he should have just, leaned into the sex thing or something. I don't know. Come on, Mikey, sex sells.
Giant wieners on sticks. Eat our wieners.
Oh, man. At this point, the boss calls up Mikey and asks how business is going. Mikey stammers and says he can't talk right now because he's too busy. So he actually makes a lot of noise and trying to act like he's busy. And he hangs up. And he freaks out because he thinks that he'll be the one blamed for the lack of business, even though it's because of the naked pizza opening up across the food court.
Yeah, that was my note too. Like, what's he so worried about his boss? Why is he worried that his boss is going to blame him for the lack of sales because, the competition across the way there's dragging in all their customers,
Yeah.
Probably because he's an immature kid, but
exactly. He just thinks, I'm the top dog now, so it's my responsibility.
The top dog and the only one, from what I can tell.
Yeah, there's nobody else working there. Shouldn't you have at least two people in like a booth like that?
Yeah,
somebody to man and register, and somebody to deal with the food.
Somebody to handle the wieners.
Yeah, somebody handle the wieners, and then somebody to handle the cash because they're both you don't want to mix and match.
Yeah, you don't want money on your wieners.
Cash germs on your wiener.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so Mikey asks Parker for help, who of course says, not a problem. And we cut to Shelley, who's sitting on a bench in the mall, reading a book about Dracula. She's clearly getting freaked out by what she's reading, and this book talks all about vampires walking among us without us knowing.
Yeah, I looked up the book because I was just curious because she's like reading it and you can hear in her mind what she's reading. It's like, of course, vampires walk among us. And I was like, what fucking book is this? So like, I looked it up. And she's reading Dracula, the Prince of Many Faces by Raju Florescu. I think I butchered the name. And Raymond McNally. And it's actually a biography of the historical figure Vlad Dracula, Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
Actually, those two, they were researchers and writers or whatever, but they wrote multiple books about the historical Dracula. So I sincerely doubt their book says anything
Said
about vampires walking among us. It just made me laugh. It reminded me of the other what was the other book that they were looking at?
Oh, the one, is it, you talking about the ones where they were hiding behind it and there was like screen acting for the camera or something?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's reading this book and it's getting her all freaked out about vampires actually being real. So Parker and Jerry walk by and Parker spots a very beautiful woman coming up an escalator. We see a girl in a very 90s purple dress approaching. A girl, Parker says, that's so cool she even has her own music.
Yeah, what's funny about that is like before that, in his voiceover, he's chastising all the fact that all the other young women at the mall all look like Madonna, and he says it's so 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And then she comes up there, and the music that plays is fucking 80s as hell.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's just like this super 80s music, you know?
Yeah.
It just made me laugh. Okay, yeah, so this is Josie Bissett, who most people probably remember from Melrose Place. She played Jane in Melrose Place in the original run, 1992 to 99, and then I guess they brought it back. I didn't realize they brought it back, but she plays the character.
Oh, they did? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's where I recognize her from. But
Gotcha. Yeah.
And this,
I see here she was in The Doors as well. She played Robbie Krieger's girlfriend.
Yeah, just thought that was so random. Yeah.
It is kind of random.
Yeah.
But this would have been about the same time she was in Parker Lewis. Yeah, 91, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, this dream girl gives Parker a smile, bites her lip, and then walks away. Parker is stunned, of course.
Yeah.
And Jerry approaches him and asks him what's wrong. Parker says nothing and just stumbles off after the woman. Before Jerry can follow Parker, he spots a Help Wanted sign in a toy store. This piques his interest, and he rockets out of frame. We cut to, and my note here is there's a lot of cut tos here, man. Like we jump all around, because normally I write my little cut to here.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I felt like every freaking line was, we cut to.
Yeah. Well, there's like 5 or 6 stories going on here, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of jumping around. Yeah. So anyways, we cut to a clothing store where we find Miss Musso is on a shopping spree.
I thought it was it made me a little uncomfortable the way she just jammed her credit card in the mouth of the store worker who's helping her, who's like carrying all the clothes that she's selected, and she just jams the credit card to the woman's mouth.
Yes.
God, man.
And she says something like "master the possibilities," which I think was an old tagline for MasterCard.
Yeah.
So rude.
Yeah.
Parker's also in the store where he's in search of his dream girl, and he finally spots her. Dream girl gives him another lip bite. She likes doing that.
Yeah.
And we do a bit of a Spielberg dolly in on Parker as he's disoriented by her beauty. Parker tells us in VO, and suddenly, just like that, it was like we were the only 2 people in the world. And we get some weird psychedelic effect that kind of swirls around the 2 of them. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like something you would use like on a high school film project, you know, for it's just the way it's all swirled, and it's just the 2 of them. Most of the 2 of them is still visible. You know, it's just it's very 1990.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
And we dissolve to commercial. Back from commercial, we're in the hallway of Santo Domingo High, and in VO, Parker tells us,
Parents are always wondering why kids like to hang out at the mall. Simple. You go to the mall in search of something you aren't sure of. In fact, you may not even know you were looking for it. Like yesterday, I found the girl of my dreams. I don't know her name, but I hope to find her again.
I just made a note about Parker's shirt here because it looks very much like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Just the way the color pattern. And it looks like it's stitched like Sally. It just, man, I
gotta go back and look at that. That's funny.
Yeah. It's just, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh shit, he looks like Sally.
Oh, that's great. As Parker walks out of frame, we find Shelley still reading her vampire book. She's reading a section about what vampires are afraid of. Sunlight, for one. At which point she witnesses Frank Lemmer about to step into a pool of sunlight.
Yeah.
He skids to a stop just before stepping into the sacred illumination, and he carefully skirts around it.
Sacred illumination.
Shelley observes this and is intrigued. Frank continues down the hall, and then someone flings open a door through which a ton of sunlight pours in. The light engulfs Frank, and he screams in horror before staggering away like a wounded animal. And this episode, I have my note here, is this episode does a lot to further the Frank is a vampire legend.
Yeah, I feel like this is the one. I probably saw this one and just attributed it to all of Frank's appearances or something, because I really remember him as vampiric. Yeah, this one is all about him being a vampire. But that damn scream when the light hits me, he's like, ah!
I know,
it's so fucking funny.
Like he's gonna fucking melt.
Yeah, it's so well done. And what was he actually screaming about too? You know, because spoiler alert, we find out later he's probably not a vampire, but like,
yeah.
So he did walk down the hall and just scream at bright light.
He's just a night owl. He doesn't like bright light.
Yeah, he was hungover. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
My head.
Seeing Frank's behavior frightens Shelley. Then we find Miss Musso dragging a student by the ear, I guess to the principal's office, when we hear off screen someone say, Grace Musso? And we see our old friend, Wesley Mann.
Yep.
This time he's from the credit bureau of Santo Domingo Trust. As he presents a badge, Grace recoils and releases her captive student. As they head to Miss Musso's office, Wesley Mann begins to spout off a crazy shopping list. 335 pairs of shoes, 412 coats, 78 purses, 660 pairs of pantyhose. Good Lord.
She's got some banks to rob.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, and then Wesley Mann says, have you heard of the term shopaholic?
Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I wrote down women be shopping. It's so stupid, but that's the vibe. Shopping. That was the vibe I was getting off of this.
That is
some very
totally the vibe of this
Yeah.
of the Grace plot line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Musso, of course, adamantly rejects these accusations, while behind her, the door to her office bursts open and outpours a ton of recently purchased merchandise.
Yeah, I was looking at the IMDb page about this for something else, and I noticed it in the goofs section. Somebody highlighted the fact that right there you can actually see a stagehand or somebody in the background like knocking the shit over, you know, like when it pours out, you can see him in the background. I didn't go back and
knocking
look,
stuff
but,
over.
Yeah. So that was funny.
We dissolve to later in Miss Musso's office, which is now crammed full of all kinds of clothing, shoes, boxes, all kinds of stuff. Sitting in front of her desk is, I guess, a psychologist that she is seeing to try to control her shopping habits.
Yeah, this psychologist is Dr. Carroll, who is played by Bruce Charchow, which I think is how you pronounce his name. If it's not, I apologize. But he's back for his second appearance. He was in season 1, episode 16, Jerry, Portrait of a Video Game Junkie. And there he was playing the group leader in the little Video Games Anonymous thing that he went to, or whatever it was called.
Exactly.
Pretty much the same guy, though, so it may well be that was an unnamed Dr. Carroll appearance. Who knows?
Oh, right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Like Conrad Fleck, not being Conrad Fleck in one of those episodes
and then,
or whatever.
Then becoming Conrad Fleck, yeah.
While it may be a little premature to offer an analysis as to why you're shopping at such a fantastic rate, Grace, I get the feeling that it's because there's something missing from your life. Any ideas as to what that might be?
Oh, Doctor, look at me. I'm smiling. I'm happy. And I'm completely at ease with what I am and what I have. Did you say you were single?
Grace, in order to put a clamp on your shopping habits, I'm prescribing the following treatment. Go to a mall once a week and buy one item and one item only. This way you'll learn control, moderation.
Yes, Doctor.
And keep Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights open.
Yes, Doctor.
For therapy.
Whatever you want to call it, Doctor.
Yeah, I made the note during that scene. I just wrote down, why is Miss Musso so fucking horny for this doctor? And then as it progresses, I'm like, oh, she's just horny.
Yeah.
He happens to be there, you know.
Exactly.
And she's shopping to compensate for her horniness.
Exactly.
And she is horny for this doctor, man. She is unrelenting.
So we cut to the security office of the mall, and we see the lead security guard, Ira Lefko, which we pulled from the credits because I don't think they actually ever say his name in the show itself. But he's played here by Don Lake, who's a writer and very prolific sitcom actor. He's one of those guys you see in everything.
Oh, yeah.
I see here you have his credits extend back to like late 70s. So,
yeah.
I mean, he was in so much in the 80s and 90s. I mean, I saw him in so many things.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys.
So anyways, Ira Lefko, the main security guard here, or lead security guard, is briefing his underlings. And these guys, they look like total fuck-offs. They're throwing paper airplanes, shooting spitballs, all kinds of stuff.
I made a note. They look completely disconnected from what's going on. Like he's very hardcore in his presentation, his for them or whatever. But they're just like you said, they're shooting spitballs and paper airplanes and shit.
Yeah, they're
Total
just there to get a paycheck.
Yeah. They're not serious like most mall security guards.
Exactly. They give mall security guards a bad name.
Yeah.
So anyways, Ira informs them of America's most wanted shoplifter, Ernie Sticky Fingers Festoon.
Gross.
He hands out police sketches of the culprit, and we see that the sketch actually resembles someone we know, Parker Lewis.
Yeah.
As we hold on the sketch of Sticky Fingers, we cross us all between the sketch and Parker back at the hot dog stand.
Can I just point out, like, I was just going to say, like, the thing about the hot dog stand, I thought about it earlier, I forgot to mention it, but, like, it's weird that I don't think they ever refer to these things as corn dogs. They're all hot dogs on a stick. Is there a difference between those?
Okay, so when we were talking to Abe,
yeah,
he mentioned that, like, a hot dog on a stick is different than a corn dog, right? Didn't he say something?
Okay. I don't remember.
Wow, Abe, we need you back for this. We can't do it alone. But no, I like in the episode we did when Abe popped in, we had a little conversation at the end because I think we were talking about the hot dog stand. And he's talking about hot dog on a stick, and I was like, well, I've had a corn dog, and he was like, it's not the same thing.
Okay.
So I think it is something different. I don't know what the difference is.
Me neither. Yeah.
If anybody knows, please write in.
Because we're not going to look it up, obviously.
Yes. All right, so where were we? The cross is all between the sketch of Sticky Fingers and Parker. And he's standing at the hot dog stand, or dog on a stick stand, whatever you want to call it. Because I think they call it dog on a stick, but I think the sign actually says hot dog on a stick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, Parker's watching as Mikey is on the phone with his boss. Mikey hangs up and confesses that he moved to the top too fast. He declares that he is just destined to be a counterman. But Parker gives him a pep talk that includes some very patriotic music along with some black and white World War II footage.
As the great thinkers of our day said, Semper Fidelis. Just do it and not a problem. All rolled into one.
You're right, Park. I can make a difference.
Yeah, I made a note that they're equating Iwo Jima with with Mikey becoming the fucking top dog at the hot dog on a stick place.
Yeah, seems about the same level.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We're all heroes, really.
Yes. At the end of his speech, though, Parker spots his dream girl and runs off in hot pursuit. Of course, as he runs through the mall, we see up on the second level our head security officer, Ira Lefko, wearing black sunglasses, looking very menacing and watching Parker. We cut to Kubiak at the Grodnik Griddle pop-up booth. He's looking at his watch, which I love his watch, and I guess it's probably a Swatch watch, but it's got bacon and eggs on it.
Yeah, it's great. I love that. I noticed that too.
It's a great watch. And he's waiting for the next demo to begin, which, thanks to a sign, we realize is in 1 hour. As Parker comes running by in pursuit of his dream girl, Kube grabs him by the neck, pulls him tight, and says, "Keep Kube company."
Very painful too, man.
Just snatching by the neck, dude, as he's running past.
Clotheslines his ass.
Yeah. Oh, God. So we cut to the toy store where Jerry is starting his new job. We're tight on his face as he gives a very detailed and esoteric explanation about how something works. We cut to the reverse angle to find a bunch of little kids with their heads smoking, and one of them is holding an Etch-a-Sketch. I love that effect.
Yeah.
We've seen that before with Miss Musso, but it's great to see with a gaggle of kids.
Let me just drop my note in here instead of later on.
Yeah.
That I just wanted to say that if anybody watched, I guess at this point it will be past tense. If anybody watched the bonus from season 1, episode 21, where Chip and Troy were going on about AV stuff, you'll get the same vibe. I got the same vibe watching this again. I was like, oh shit, it's just like when they were talking, I was just sitting there like, huh?
I need to go back and retroactively put smoke coming from your head.
Yeah.
And digitally put smoke in.
I'm sitting there like, you mean there's not people in my TV acting? That's what's going on in my head while you're talking.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah,
anyway,
I got this. Troy and I definitely geeked out.
Yeah. It was great. Yeah. I got those vibes off of this scene.
Yeah.
Like, I was those kids. Hit me.
That's great note. Anyways, we hear the manager say, Steiner, it's just an Etch-a-Sketch. All the kid asked was how the squiggly things get in there. And Jerry insists that's what he just told the kid. But the manager strips Jerry of his name tag and tells him, sorry, try IBM. I hear they're hiring.
That must be a reference to something.
I think it is. I mean, if it just ended with try IBM, it would just be a joke on like, you're too smart for this shit. But I hear they're hiring. I feel like that's got to be a reference to something that was going on at the time with the company. I don't know. Like maybe somebody was just let go, like somebody high up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, if we were even decent at our jobs, we would have looked that up.
We got to be better about this.
Oh, man. Then we cut to Kubiak and Parker. Parker still in the embrace of Kubiak, which means headlock.
Yeah.
He's listening to Kubiak recall a moment in his childhood. Kubiak says, when I was 7, our dog Lucky ran away.
Our dog. So lamente, Doug. And that dog Lucky said, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. So many state references, state references on this show.
Yeah.
When I was 7, our dog Lucky ran away, and my brother told everyone I ate him. At which point he laughs, and it's a great laugh too, the way he laughs. And he says, I wouldn't eat a dog. Well, not my own at any rate.
Yeah, I made a little note here that like this is the first time since the pilot we've heard Kube talk about having a brother. So he must have had another brother because I'm pretty sure Bobby was like 6.
Yeah,
when Kube was 20.
You know,
and if he was 7, then he must have had an older brother or something.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like an older brother thing to do, right? Is to tell people that your younger brother did some shit.
Yeah, or younger brother ate the dog.
So we're putting it together. Kubiak has a younger brother and probably an older brother, and his parents can't remember, or his dad can't remember his name.
Yeah, his parents probably don't even know they have 3 children.
Exactly.
Oh, I looked up Grodnik, by the way. I can drop this in here if you want. So it's entirely possible that this is a reference to Todd Grodnik, who is a member of the Directors Guild of America, worked in production, independent features, and television. Okay. When I looked up Grodnik, the response was a surname notably belonging to several individuals in the entertainment industry, including film producer and writer Todd Grodnik and actor William Grodnik. So
they must have, somebody must have known him and thrown his name in there as a reference.
Yeah. Another notable individual with the surname is Daniel Grodnik, a film producer and former chairman CEO of National Lampoon magazine. So I don't know if it was any of them, but
yeah, gotcha. But it's probably a reference to one of those guys, and somebody on the crew or like the writing staff knew, or the art, I guess writers maybe knew him or was doing a little shout out or something.
If anybody knows the answer, feel free to drop it into the comments below, especially if the answer is, no, we just made it up. Dumbasses.
Yes.
Fucking Da Vinci Code assholes. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know. We'd love for the writers to comment or come on the show and tell us we're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We're reading so much into this shit.
Yeah.
Open invitation. Anyways.
Fucking tryhards. Go ahead.
So as Kubiak is about to launch into a story about his hamster, Parker spots his dream girl. Who knows what that story was going to be? Parker spots his dream girl going down the escalator again, and he manages to pry himself loose from Kube's grip, and he takes off. He tracks down his dream girl at a shoe store, and just before he goes in, he's snatched through a doorway and into the men's room. It's the head security guard, Ira. He tells Parker he's his worst nightmare. In VO, we hear Parker say, strange, I always thought that was swapping spit with Bonnie Boopka. Then Ira, surprisingly, says, who's Bonnie Boopka? And Parker's taken aback, and he's like, you could hear that? Ira tells him, I hear everything. I see everything. I know everything. Eat a meal, I'm there to wipe your mouth. Go to sleep, I'm there to tuck you in. Take a shower, I'm there to... And then, luckily, Parker cuts him off before he can finish that thought by saying, whoa, I didn't even do anything. Ira growls.
What was he suggesting he's there to do?
Take a shower. I'll be there to... Oh,
Yikes.
man. But anyways, Parker protests. He says, I didn't even do anything. And Ira growls, I'll be the judge of that. And he mysteriously disappears. And Parker is left all alone in the bathroom.
Yeah, I liked all those extreme close-ups of his face. In the angle they were shooting him at, it was very menacing and also funny looking.
Yeah, it's great. They love using that wide angle on people for that comedic menacing effect. Then we cut to the escalators where Shelley spots Frank Limmer, who looks up at her and hisses, and we actually see fangs.
I love how they zoomed in on him. And
yes.
Like the
jump zooms, yeah.
It gets a little fuzzy there at the end, but that whole fucking shot, that whole sequence just made me laugh out loud. Just seeing him all like, just so silly, man.
And he's got fangs, prosthetics fangs in, of course. But it's a very subtle makeup job, but they do. Yeah. There's a little bit of like a paleness to his face, more than he is already, Yeah. But it's not overdone. It's like so subtle. It's so well done. Yeah. I loved it.
So anyways, shot.
Yeah. Anyways, Shelley screams and takes off running, of course. Cutting back to Frank, we see he's actually escorting Miss Musso on her shopping trip, where she has been instructed to practice moderation. Frank tries to give her a pep talk, but Musso is not having it, though, and she tells Frank to shut up. He's starting to sound like Donahue. As Frank and Musso reach the top of the escalator, Musso stops and sniffs the air. I love this. She stops and it's kind of like Kube, when he's sniffing the air. It's great. And we get this horror montage of sales signs. So it's like snap zooms into these sales signs with like horror stings. And Miss Musso screams and faints.
The look on her face when she does the performance is fucking hilarious. It's great. So good. So over the top.
Then we cut to Kubiak, who is grabbing his head and says, "Need demo now."
Raisin Detra gone.
Yeah, this is becoming a Kube thing, grabbing his head and saying shit like that. Anyways, so that was the extent of that scene. So we cut to a store called Computerville. And there's an applicants accepted sign in the window. And we see Jerry putting on a red jacket with a big Jerry name tag. And he's standing in front of a bunch of NES and Genesis games. Yeah, and he shakes hands with a manager who's wearing a very similar red jacket and name tag. And Jerry seems very pleased. But suddenly the manager disappears. And he disappears with a sound, I think it's a Star Trek sound effect, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's the transporter.
The beam out, like the transporter.
Yeah, I made that note too, yeah. I couldn't find it in the... in the write up here, but I made that same note about it. Yeah, it's the start. It's the sound effect when they start the transporter in the old Star Trek show.
Yeah, it's great. So the manager beams out, and we see Jerry no longer has the red jacket on. It turns out it was all just a fantasy of Jerry's. He's still in his gray trench coat, and he has not gotten a job. He looks over to see the sign that says applicants accepted still there, but the camera tilts down to reveal a little amendment that states, except for Jerry Steiner, who asks too many annoying questions.
You couldn't just bar him from it. They also had to fucking salt the wound with you asked too many annoying questions. It's fucked up.
Distraught and dismayed, Jerry plops down on a bench. Back in the food court, we crane down to find Conrad Fleck staring at a corn dog. Well, a hot dog on a stick, I guess.
Hot dog on a stick.
And he says, "Mikey, anticipating the particles of this hot dog may get stuck in my teeth, do you have the proper implementation to deal with that?" This is a great Conrad Fleck bit.
Yeah, that was a good read too. That's basically how he says it. He's like, "Mikey."
I know. I didn't go as arch, but yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason he's there, just for that one scene where he's standing there with a hot dog on a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. Worried about getting it stuck in his teeth. So Mikey stands behind the counter, disinterested, as the phone begins to ring. And this is an interesting shot because it's a red phone in the foreground and Mikey's in the background. And as Mikey approaches the phone to pick it up, we realize it's a forced perspective gag, and the phone is actually really fucking huge. And he answers the phone with this big receiver next to his face. And I guess he gets chewed out by his boss. He can't really hear what the boss is saying. Yeah. And we quickly cut away.
It's Peanut's voice, like we've talked about.
Yeah, it's as always. Yeah, Peanut's voice over the phone. And we cut to the bench that Jerry is sitting on, and Mikey comes into frame and plops down as well. We cut to another part of the mall. Again,
we're all over the place here. Got 6 fucking stories to keep up with.
Cut to another part of the mall where Parker is walking around. He literally bumps into his dream girl. He apologizes for bumping into her, and she says, "It's okay, because maybe, just maybe, we spent every moment of our lives up to this very second so we could be together right now." And Parker's like, "I can't believe this is happening."
Yeah.
And then, of course, she evaporates. And we realize it's also just a fantasy. And my note here was, there's a lot of daydreaming in this episode.
Yes, there is. Yep. And that whole scene was just, I mean, I know it wasn't real, but watching it, I was just like, ugh. It's just like cringe.
Very cringeworthy.
Yeah, a lot of that in there too.
Maybe there's like LSD in the hot dogs or something.
Yeah, maybe. That's the difference between a hot dog on a stick and a corn dog. Is corn dogs don't have LSD.
They're LSD free.
Yeah,
LSD and MSG free.
Yeah, yeah, they're organic.
Oh God! So then we see Parker plop down in between Jerry and Mikey on the bench of the damned and depressed. Cutting to the Grodnik Griddle booth, we see a man come in with a sign that says demonstration has been canceled for today. Kubiak grabs his head again and screams, no! So of course he ends up plopping down on the same damn bench with the buds. and after Kubiak sits down, Parker tells us, the bad news is this is the best thing that's happened to me all day. The good news is, but he's interrupted as the bench collapses under the weight of Kubiak and the three buds. And Parker says, never mind. And we dissolve to commercial.
Yeah, like the most the most what's the word I'm looking for? The joke I was waiting to happen. Yeah. Forecast.
Telegraph.
Yeah. Hey, there it is.
Telegraph joke.
Let me start over. The most telegraph joke there could possibly be. As soon as Kube sat down, even if you watch the way Abe sits down, it's very delicate, you know?
Yes, because,
because he doesn't want to destroy the fucking bench.
Yeah.
I presume. I don't know if that's what happened. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know.
No,
that's what it looked like
correct,
to me.
Sir.
Yeah.
You are 100% correct.
That's funny. It's still funny, but...
Yeah. Back from commercial, we're in Santo Domingo High, where the three buds are walking triumphantly towards us. Triumphantly towards us. I don't know why I stumbled over that word. Parker gives us a little bit of VO. Traditionally, the buds have always lifted themselves from the depths of defeat and depression with a sense of purpose, resolve, and sometimes the smile of a pretty girl. Today is no different. Today we've gathered that courage and embarked on a new mission, reclamation of our dreams. And then they do this weird thing where they walk towards a wall of the school and they just kind of phase through it. I think we've seen something like this before with Parker, but all three of them phase through the wall. And then all of a sudden, we're back in the mall.
Yeah, they've all mastered transporter technology.
Exactly.
It's just really strange,
no Star Trek effect here, though.
Yeah. You're right. That is just we haven't seen that in a while, but that is that was a common motif in the first 10 episodes or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody just phasing out of existence.
So they phased out of the school and into the mall, and then we cut back again to Santo Domingo High. Just 2 seconds later, and we see Kubiak walking alone towards camera. And Parker says, nothing can stand between Kube and his dreams either. And Kube walks towards that same school wall, but instead of phasing through it like the buds, he just busts right fucking through, leaving a cartoon cutout. Yeah, and he dissolves into the mall as well, and he's shaking plaster from his hair.
So there's so much weird shit going on there because they phase through the wall and show up at the mall. And Kubiak just blows through the fucking wall, but then he also phases in at the mall. Like, what?
It's so great. With plaster like in his hair and on his shoulder.
So where is the line of phasing? Where's the hole in space-time? Yeah. Where's the rip in the space-time continuum?
Maybe it's always moving and it was at the wall when the buds hit it, but it was kept creeping back and he just had to go farther.
That's probably what it was. Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep. That's what he solved it.
Exactly. We cut to Miss Musso's office, back with Miss Musso and her doctor. The doctor says he's not quite sure why she demanded that he pay a house call. And I love this bite from Miss Musso. She says, "Oh, I find doctors' offices so stifling to the sort of interaction one would expect between a beautiful career woman like myself and a handsome, firmly incomed doctor like yourself." I think that's what she says. I don't know. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she said handsome, firmly incomed
I think
doctor.
you might be right. Yeah.
which is just funny in itself.
Yeah.
Firmly incomed.
Yeah.
Then the doctor counters with, "My purpose for being here is not to field your clumsy advances, but rather to monitor our progress on your buy one item only therapy." I love that counter.
Yeah. And then in full lunatic mode here.
Yes.
Grace's response.
is dinner and a movie? That sounds lovely.
Like, wow. She's nuts. She's so horny, she's lost her fucking mind.
Oh, it might be one of my favorite scenes of this episode, man.
Yeah,
The exchange. I mean, it's a very quick exchange between the two of them. Maybe like, 3, 4, 5 lines most. But the exchange is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, and as always, charts off as, in top form.
Yeah.
So we cut to Hot Dog on a Stick, where Mikey is behind the counter. He begins to demonstrate some prototype corn dogs that he came up with that are all fucking horrible, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, one of them is a sauteed eggplant cherry dog. I don't list the other ones here, but they're all very disgusting. Kudos to the art department, too, because the design of these fucking mutant corn dogs it's so disgusting.
They look like dog shits. They all look like dog shits.
Dog turds on a stick.
Yeah. They're all lumpy and coily like dog turds. It's so fucking
dog
gross.
Turds on a stick. Not dog on a stick. Dog turd on a stick.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Jerry and Parker actually pass the fuck out from the sight and or smell of this. They just flat out.
Like total cartoon moment. They just take a sniff and pass out.
Yeah, they're sprawled out on the floor. So we cut back to the Grodneck Griddle demo booth once again, and the woman is back and she's conducting the demonstration. Larry decides to ask her a couple questions. She counters this by saying, Larry, would you rather come up here and do this demo yourself? At which point, Kubiak smiles, and we get the typical Larry stretching leather sound effect.
Yeah.
We cut back to Parker, who's hanging out on the second level of the mall now, leaning against the railing. And as he looks around, he starts seeing the head security guard, Ira, in various places at once. Parker turns around distraught. He's like, what the hell am I doing? I'm chasing a girl I'm probably never going to catch, and I'm being chased by a lunatic. I am out of here. So he runs for the elevator and he presses the button. The elevator opens and he runs smack into his dream girl. They stare into each other's eyes as the elevator doors close.
Is this the part where they go up and down the elevator? That's later.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah,
I meant to put a note of that, but I did not.
Yeah. Because my only note was like, is that supposed to imply like a boner or something?
I don't know what it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to mean. I know it had to mean something because so the shot is, the doors close. I guess it is after the next shot because we're cutting away again. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. So we cut away to Jerry outside yet another store staring in. He watches helpless as the help wanted sign is pulled up and 2 hands come into frame and shake. Jerry, dismayed, turns to walk away, but a woman approaches him and asks him a question about where she can find a certain store, or actually multiple stores. She just starts listing off stores. Do you know where this is and this is and this is? And Jerry's like, of course, let me show you. I know where everything is in this mall. As he walks away, a mysterious figure in a suit steps into frame and starts to tail them.
Yeah, I made a note that this looks like Stacy Keach.
He kind of does look like Stacy Keach.
He's just like kind of like a burly older man with a big aggressive mustache.
Yes. Back in the elevator. So this is where that scene that you were just talking about. It had to be something. I didn't quite catch it. But back in the elevator, Parker tells his dream girl, he's like, "Oh, I get it. You're just a fantasy." And she's like, "Excuse me," because he's expecting this is just another LSD corn dog hallucination.
Yeah.
And Parker tells her that she's just a figment of his overactive, hormonally tormented teenage imagination. Preach, brother. At which point his dream girl says, "Tell me this is a fantasy," and she kisses him.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think that they go down the elevator, she kisses him, and then they fucking go back up or something like that.
Exactly. It's weird because he's intending to go down, which they do as they kiss and they start making out or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But then, it shoots back up like in fast forward motion or whatever.
That's what made me think this is a boner thing.
It could have been. Yeah, I have no idea what the reference was there.
Probably not, but yeah, it's just really.
I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, okay, that works.
I mean, we're talking about his overactively, hormonally tormented teenage imagination.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
as soon as she said, "Tell me this is a fantasy," that's when it starts. Like,
I mean, we all remember what it was like to be a teenager. Come on.
Yeah.
It didn't take much.
Yeah.
As the elevator doors open, he steps out, leaving Parker with a face full of lipstick. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of lipstick on him.
Yeah.
And so Parker chases after her and asks for her name. She tells him her name is Sarah, to which Parker responds like a googly-eyed teen, "Sarah." And Sarah approaches him once more, kisses him on the cheek this time, and says, "It was meant to be. Dreams come true, Parker." It's just a weird line, but
Yeah.
She walks away, and Parker's about to follow, but of course, Ira, the security guard, snatches him into the elevator before he has a chance to move. And we cut to Jerry, surrounded by a gaggle of children, and they're all asking him a ton of questions about the mall. He's trying his best to answer all the questions as we see the mysterious man in the suit observing from the background. We cut to a department store where Miss Musso is walking with Frank and her doctor now. She carries a very small shopping bag, like super tiny. I love the, again, the art direction. It's like
cute.
the super teeny little shopping bag.
Yeah.
And she's gloating about being able to resist temptation and only buy one item. At which point, Ryan Stiles, once again, runs out. Because you'll remember him from, was it Citizen Kube? Or, Citizen Kube, where he won the lottery, right?
Yeah.
Or the Field and Heifer sweepstakes.
Yeah.
So he runs out and says, Miss Musso? I love how he pronounces Miss Musso. Musso corrects his pronunciation, but he says it wrong again. Miss Grace Musso? And tells her she's their 1 millionth customer. And as confetti and balloons fall from the ceiling and a camera crew rushes in, Ryan Stiles announces she's won a $10,000 shopping spree, at which point Grace Musso faints to the floor. Her doctor rushes to her side and asks if there's anything he can do. And Miss Musso just smiles. My note was, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. She's like, give me some of that dick. I don't get it, but okay. It's like, you just won a shopping spree.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Love Miss Musso. We cut to Parker running down the escalator, I guess fleeing from the security guard, though I'm not quite sure how he got away from him.
Yeah.
We tilt down to find Larry Kubiak at the Grodnick Griddle demo booth. He's got a microphone strapped to his chest, demoing the griddle as the woman just stands there looking up at him and smiling. She looks pretty enamored with Kubiak. Kubiak finishes the demo, and then she kisses him on the cheek. We cut to Hot Dog on a Stick, or Dog on a Stick, I can't remember what the sign says, where Parker comes running up and asks Mikey to help him hide because Darth Security Guard, as Parker calls him, pretty funny, Darth Security Guard, is after him, at which point Mikey just gives him his red hat. And Parker's like, oh, great. Yeah, this will definitely help. Mikey's just not concerned. Mikey at this point presents his last-ditch effort to save the hot dog stand, or the dog on a stick stand. He's got a bunch of corn dogs, or dogs on a stick, laid out on a table, along with a bunch. I don't want to make a mistake. I got to cover my base. I got to hedge my bets.
No, I got it. I just thought it was funny that you wrote corn dog so much.
I mean, they're corn dogs to me, but I'm just ignorant.
I don't know.
He's got a bunch of dogs on a stick laid out on a table, along with a bunch of dipping ingredients, gummy bears, chocolate, and a ton of like different sauces. In the background, we see Larry Kubiak happy as hell and skipping along.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's great. It's such a great shot of him doing that modern dance.
Yes. This, of course, causes a minor earthquake, and it collapses Mikey's table of hot dogs. Just a minor earthquake.
Right, yeah. Just enough to break a table.
Just enough to break a table.
Right in half.
And all of Mikey's ingredients just spill into a big pot.
Yeah.
Mikey jumps over the counter, horrified to find everything all mixed up. Then a heavenly light shines down on a corn dog, or dog on a stick, with chocolate fudge and gummy bears on it. And he says, total coolness. Dinner and dessert all in the same dog. And Jerry, who popped in a few seconds earlier, starts to protest because that is obviously his invention from earlier in this episode. But Parker stops him and says, let Mikey have this one. Jerry agrees, adding he now has a higher calling, and he looks over and we see the mysterious man in the suit beckoning Jerry towards him.
Yeah, that part I thought was kind of creepy.
It's a little creepy, right?
Yeah.
I figured that had to be what your note was because the guy's like,
he's looking at him. He's giving like the little
doing that little finger curl thing, but it's a creepy finger curl.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he beckons
Gross.
Jerry towards him. It is kind of gross. Come on, Stacy Keach. Do better. Cut to Naked Pizza, which is crowded at the moment. We hear over the loudspeaker Mikey announcing his new hot dog invention, or dog on a stick invention, and the whole Naked Pizza customer base clears out and heads over to Dog on a Stick.
fuck pizza. I'm going to go eat a fucking hot dog on a stick with chocolate and gummy bears all over it.
I mean, by this point, I guess they started the teenage boy customer base probably figured out like, oh, there's no naked waitress.
Oh, yeah. It's just this old man.
Just this old middle-aged dude serving us pizza. Yeah. Not really as cool as we thought it was going to be.
Where's the boobs, old man? I'm here to eat pizza and look at boobs.
Oh, anyways, we cut to Shelly walking through the mall. She's wearing a garlic necklace and a cross and carrying a large bucket marked Holy H2O. Not holy water.
Love that.
Holy H2O.
I love that she has labeled the bucket.
Yes.
What are you doing? I just like that obvious, you got to show what it is for the audience. But why not just write it on the side of the bucket?
So cartoony, but it's great. Yeah. She stalks up behind Frank Limmer and lets him have it. But nothing happens, strangely enough. So my note here was maybe Shelly didn't have it blessed correctly, because I do think Frank's a fucking vampire, so I think this should have worked.
Yeah.
Anyways, we cut to Limmer chasing Shelly through the mall, like up on the second story. And from that, we tilt down to find Jerry Steiner at the info booth giving out tons of useful information about the mall. We cut to Parker Lewis coming up an escalator. He spots Darth security guard, Ira, walking right next to Sarah this time. It's the moment of truth. Does he run or does he stay? If he runs, he loses out on getting to know Sarah. If he stays, he's dead meat. Finally, he decides to stay and face the consequences. But Ira and Sarah walk right by him for some reason. They split, like he just splits them, like they go on either side of him. And we cut to the escalator that Parker had just come up, where this guy that looks a lot like Parker and in a very Parker Lewis shirt spots the security guard and starts to run as Ira and Sarah grab this Parker lookalike and handcuff him. Like they slam him against the rails too.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty rough. There's some police brutality here.
Yeah.
They shove him up against
some
the
mall security brutality going on.
Yes. They shove him up against the railing and they handcuff him. And Parker, seeing this, realizes that Sarah is in on this. She's an undercover security guard because, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah. And I like how that comes to light too. It's not like it doesn't come to light organically. It's all through like expositional dialogue or whatever. Like Ira's just like, and this is why I'm glad that you're my top enforcer, Sarah.
Yes, I know.
My top undercover security guard, Sarah. You've been this entire time working with me undercover. It's funny. I mean, you got to do that sometimes, but it made me laugh.
Sarah comes over to Parker. She's sorry, but she couldn't tell him her true identity because it would have hurt her mission.
Her mission.
Her
mall security mission.
Parker asks, what about the kiss? And Sarah assures him that was real. Parker asks if he can see her again, and she says, I don't know, Parker. There's a lot of malls and a lot of shoplifters out there. Parker says...
So she travels around and does this.
Exactly. She's like a contractor, like an undercover mall security guard, and
she's an
like
agent.
On contract. She's an agent, yeah. She's hired out to different malls to clean up their act.
Make out with high schoolers.
Yeah. Parker says, how old is she? Parker says, I thought just maybe we had a future, at which point Sarah tells him he should probably just try to live for today. Then, as the two of them ascend the escalator into a bright light, they kiss again, and Parker tells us in VO, when I was 5, all I wanted in life was to be able to fly. Then I turned 12, and all I wanted was to be Alex Trebek.
That's so fucking weird. It's like Parker wanted to be Alex Trebek? Okay.
It's so great.
I want to host Classic Concentration, Dad.
Oh, man. And he continues,
look it up, kids.
Yeah. It's a deep cut. Now, so Parker continues his VO. Now I'm a high school junior, and all I can dream about is girls. From that bright light, we pull out to find we're in Parker's bedroom. Parker is asleep in bed. In his banana PJs, I might add.
Yeah.
I love those banana PJs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to take a break from dreaming and try some living, he says. Then he rolls over, and we see the red lipstick on his cheek. Maybe not, he adds.
I was expecting when I was watching that, for whatever reason, I was expecting to roll over and she'd be lying in bed next to him. I was just like, whoa, this one took a hell of a turn.
Yeah, that would be great.
Just rolls over and she's there with her hair all frumpy or whatever.
Yeah.
Just sleeping light. Whoa, they fucked? Holy shit.
He's like, you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here. My dad's gonna come in any second. He'll probably say something inappropriate.
For our closing gag, we are back in the guidance counselor office, and we see Shelley in front of the desk this time. She says, I plan to take advantage of higher education too. My first husband will be a lawyer. My second husband will be a doctor. My third husband will be an anchorman. My fourth husband will be a stockbroker. My fifth, and we cut to credits.
Yeah, very regressive attitude about marriage.
Very.
Yeah. I was like, come on, Shelley, you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Penny for your thoughts?
This was not one of my favorite episodes of this show. I watched it 3 or 4 times for I liked it better each time I watched it, but I think as we were talking about it, it kind of gelled in my head. I think there's too much going on, and that seems like very, oh, no shit. But there's like 5 or 6 stories going on at once. And I like the Jerry one. I thought that one was done really well. The Mikey one is okay, Kubiak one is good. The Parker one is just like, it reminded me a lot of the pilot, his whole interaction with Mila Jovovich in the pilot, where it's like this completely unearned payoff at the end, where it's like he's seen this girl like twice, or talked to her like once or twice. She just happens to be the object of his affection for the episode. Yeah. And so, by the end, he's talking about, I thought there could be something more. It's like, dude, you've talked to her twice, man. Like, I get we're high schoolers and stuff, and very dramatic and everything, but I just didn't feel very invested in his part of the story, which kind of sucks, because it's the one that's focused on the most.
Yeah, it's the main line. Yeah.
I like the performances, the Ira.
Don
he was
Lake,
really good and really over the top.
He's always good.
Yeah, it was all, Anyway, your thoughts. Go ahead.
Not my favorite. I did enjoy it though. It is a little it's kind of interesting to get out of the school and be somewhere else for the most part. I do think it suffered a bit from jumping around too often, and I think you hit the nail on the head that it was probably a few too many storylines to weave together. I I know what they were trying to do, but again, with that many storylines, it's almost like you need a feature-length film, to make land and pay off and develop, right? And not be so frantic.
That's what it felt like. It felt like an 80s film, an 80s movie.
Yeah, it might have played better as a film.
Yeah.
But and the Parker line could have been beefed up somehow. I thought it was fun. Again, the performances, like, everybody was great. Even from the guest stars. And again, the Musso doctor stuff, I found that enjoyable to watch the two of them, and not so much her story arc about the shopping, but just the interaction between her and the doctor is just, I don't know. I found that enjoyable to watch, especially just her delivery on those lines, and the doctor too. Like he did a great job delivering those lines. But so my theory after watching it the second time, I was like, oh, is this all a dream? Because there's a lot of daydreaming. And there's a lot of, and it ends with, they take the escalator up to fucking heaven or whatever, where this bright light consumes us. And then we pull out from that bright light from the window, and we find we're in his bedroom. Yeah. We find he's asleep in his PJs. Yeah. And, we hear some VO about maybe it's time to give up dreaming and start some living. And then he rolls over, and then, there's the lipstick. I was like, are they playing with that whole dream trope thing where it's like, is it a dream? Is it not a dream? So that's what I started thinking of, like, by the second time I watched it. Yeah. And because of, like, again, so many dream sequences or daydreaming. But now I kind of like the theory we kind of stumbled across in our recap today, that it's just LSD laced corn dogs. Dogs on a stick. Dogs on a stick.
Dogs on a stick. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Mikey. He's desperate.
That's true.
To make some sales.
Yep.
He might have spiked those things.
So
it was all just a crazy acid trip.
I kind of like the idea of them ascending the escalator into the bright heavenly light, and then Parker rolls over and she's in bed next to him because they fucked.
I don't know. That would have been that's the ending that we should have had.
Yeah. Yeah. It takes a huge turn at the end where you're just like, whoa, what the fuck? That's not what I was expecting from this show.
Or we crane down from the window, we find Parker, he rolls over, and Ira's in the bed with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm still on to you, kid.
Yeah, he's like, is it shower time?
That's the ending.
I got this loofah here.
Yeah, I got this loofah already. I knew you can't get that one spot on your back.
Yeah. I will say I did like the fact that there were so many, there were a lot of guests on this episode, you know, like we had the main ones or whatever, but even seeing Wesley Mann and Ryan Stiles back was awesome, you know.
Totally.
I love seeing those guys. And Conrad, you know.
Yeah, I know, man. It was
a lot of
kind of a star-studded episode.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, it may not have been the strongest or my top, up there with the top episodes, but I did find it enjoyable just for numerous, maybe not as a whole, but just for numerous reasons I found it enjoyable.
On the next Synchronize Swatches. So here's the synopsis from IMDb for the next episode, Season 1, Episode 25, My Fair Shelley. Getting invited to one of Melinda's parties is a big deal, and when Shelley gets invited, she strives to get a date. When she grows desperate, she seeks her brother's help. Well, she blackmails him. As Parker helps her by using Jerry as her training date, Jerry starts to find interest in her. Larry Kubiak also tries to get into the party, but he wasn't invited. At party time, Shelley finds that maybe the date of her dreams isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Me.
Not the worst Anonymous has done, but
it's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
My brother's a dead man.
My friend Jerry said you guys were going to do something really neat today.
Is it shower time?